Okay, guess what? Tomorrow is National Take Your Dog to Work Day. That should be interesting. Actor Dennis Quaid got to co-star with his dog, Peaches, on a job that Quaid calls an enormous challenge, playing former President Ronald Reagan in the movie Reagan. It will be in theaters August 30th, and here's a preview.
Welcome to your life.
I was a lifeguard on a river.
There's no turning back.
And I learned how to read the currents. Not just the ones on the surface, but also the ones deep underneath the water.
I am about to start the biggest war of this century, and I'm not going to fire a single shot.
You're going to blow up 8 years of diplomacy.
Well, if you think that got their undies in a wad, you just wait.
What did the president know, and when did he know it?
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Boy, that's a great trailer. It gives me chills, and I can't wait to see it. Dennis Quaid and his special guest, his dog Peaches, join us now.
Yeah. Hey, Peaches. Peaches, come on over here. Here, your mark. Come on. Come on. Jump up. There you go. Good girl.
Oh, my gosh.
That's right. Good girl. Yeah.
Wow, that was
She's
impressive.
Kind of, decked out in her, blatant advertising with her, by the way. She's a walking billboard. Right, honey? What do you think? Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, good. All right. Say hello to Martha.
Hi, Peaches.
How are you, Martha?
I'm doing
Thanks
great.
For having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, and thanks for joining us for National Bring Your Dog to Work Day. And you got to bring your dog to work on this project.
Yeah, but I work at home so much that she's here. But yeah, Peaches wormed her way into Reagan. She plays the family dog, although that is not completely historically accurate.
So with Peaches' permission, I'm going to ask a few questions about the movie, and if Peaches wants to chime in, of course, it's Bring Your Dog to Work Day, so she can answer questions as well. But I do want to talk to you about this role, and I meant it when I said that this trailer gives me chills. I've watched it several times, but these are historic moments. They're moments that that we all grew up watching. And why this role, and how intimidating was it to take this on, Dennis?
It was very intimidating when I got offered it. I didn't say yes for a couple of months because everybody knows Reagan, just like everybody in the world knows Muhammad Ali in a way. And he was also a hero of mine, my favorite president. And I didn't want to do an impersonation, but I went to the Reagan Ranch, and that's where I really felt him. He was a very humble man, actually, up there at the Reagan Ranch. And that's when I decided to take the role.
That's so interesting to me because, we all think of the Reagan Library, but, not far from there is the Reagan Ranch where Nancy and Ron Reagan lived. And you say it really is like a moment in time. It's as if they just walked out the door and never came back. Tell everyone about that.
That's exactly what it is. It's not, a public place, and their clothes are still in the closet. And they left it exactly like they left it. His library, his bookshelf, where that it's filled with books going all the way back to when he was like 9 years old, are there. And the house itself is only about 1,200 square feet. And they had a king-size bed, but it's two single beds that are zip tied together. And still had the little basket with the TV controllers with an explanation from Nancy explaining how to use the 3 controllers to get the TV to work.
Yeah, and I have one of those at my house too.
Yeah, but you could see that he really did all the work there, and you could really feel him in that. Right,
yeah, I think that's
right?
so interesting. And when you think of them there, and spending time together, and the bond between Nancy and Ron Reagan is something that comes through even in this trailer. Talk to me a little bit about what you learned about that relationship.
That was, in fact, their relationship is central to the movie because I think it was really so important to them. It was a very long love story that they had. They were very close, and she knew him much better than anybody knew him. Maybe his mother knew him as well, like that. But there's something very private also about Reagan, which I found very interesting, and to get to just as a character, and exploring somebody's personality. A very private place where so many people in my research that knew him said that he was kind of unknowable in a certain sense in that very private place.
It's interesting.
And this is the great communicator that we're talking about.
That's so interesting that you say that. And I know he was a diary keeper. Did you read a lot about those periods? Because I know you deal with the Tear Down This Wall speech and his intense drive to end communism in the world. Tell us about that.
That really started from a very early age, and really officially started, I think, when he became vice president and then president of the Screen Actors Guild, and was dealing with Soviet communist infiltration into our unions. And everybody thought that was maybe a big rumor at the time or a conspiracy theory, but after the Soviet Union fell, come to find out that it really was true that they were doing things to take over our unions.
I know that you recently said that you support President Trump in this election. Having gone back and studied Reagan and played him in this film, what's your takeaway in terms of the current electoral political scene?
Well, I think I've stated that by interviews that I've done that I am supporting Trump this time around, but for a number of reasons. But probably the most is just the weaponization of our judicial system, and I see it as a constitutional issue, and which that's my convictions, and also is we were talking about Reagan and the way that it's peace through strength, really, and that there's a lot of bad actors in the world out there, or certainly our if you want to call them your enemies, and we have frenemies, and we have that, but respect is something that goes a long way in the world instead of appeasement. And America sometimes, I think, tries to be everybody's friend, and that's great, but that kind of diplomacy doesn't work with everybody.
Dennis Quaid, thank you so much. Portrays Ronald Reagan in the movie Reagan. It comes out in August, and I remember you in all of your early movies like Breaking Away and Right Stuff and Big Easy. So it's really it's so great to get an opportunity to talk to you, and I really admire your work. So thank you so much for being here today.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.